What's up, you guys? After a long day of watching different press conferences, it is finally over. The official day 0 is over, and E3, the showcase starts tomorrow. But today, Microsoft and Sony went up and they showcased their press conferences. So let's get into that. Yeah. So first thing, Microsoft first started off, and they showed off the new Xbox One S. Basically a slimmer model, 2TB hard drive. Also a big factor, which kind of at first kind of dwelled me to make me maybe getting one, is the fact that it's $300. Just kind of like $300, which normally when new models come out, they usually a bit more expensive, but $300, that's not bad, not at all. So, and then there was a big push in Microsoft's sort of conference to do that. If you buy on Xbox One, you also are able to play it on PC. So they did that with a lot of their titles and a lot of their first-party titles, which is kind of an interesting effect of like, if you're into PC gaming, then maybe why would you need an Xbox One? But that's kind of something. Yeah, that's something they're really trying to push. It was just more like, hey, like you could play at home and then you could bring it on the laptop or play it in the laptop somewhere else. So that's an interesting idea. We'll see how that works out for them. So a surprise game that actually caught my attention was Forza Horizon 3, which was based around Australia, and there was a lot of off-terrain, like cool things that I'm not sure if Horizon 1 and 2 did, but like this one like kind of took it to the next level, but it seems, because you could go on the desert, you were able to go on the beach, kind of like going through like a grassy forest. It seemed cool. There were cool cars. I'm not the biggest driving person, but that seemed cool. I really want to give that a shot. Hopefully it turns out pretty cool. Something else they showed off for the first time, I want to say gameplay wise, was Recore. They announced it last year at E3, but this is the first time where I want to say like they showed off gameplay trailer of it, and it looked pretty cool. It kind of reminded me of Mega Man, like cross with Devil May Cry. So kind of like an action platformer, but kind of still like the fast. When I mean Mega Man, I mean more Mega Man X, because kind of the dashing and the shooting of the lemons style. But yeah, like it looked fun, it looked cool. I really want to give it a shot after seeing that. I was intrigued by it last year, and this just piqued my interest even more. They also highlighted some new Xbox One features. They brought back the soundtrack feature that was kind of popular in the OG Xbox and the Xbox 360, so they're bringing that back. They said they're going to integrate Cortana more into the Xbox, so hopefully that turns out pretty good. What else? Oh, they have clubs where it's like kind of clans, but like inside the Xbox OS. So that seems cool. It's just sort of like, kind of like to know like kind of sort of group that you're in. Yeah, we'll see how that goes. They also got like a player search thing where it's kind of like you post on, I guess, sort of Craigslist style. Be like, hey, I need this person to be at a certain level to help the stage. So then people would reach out to you through that search. Seems cool. Seems interesting. Nothing I really thought of. Then they have like an arena thing. I'm not too sure exactly what that is yet. They're kind of vague about it. Just mostly like hosting tournaments, things like that. So we'll check that out. They also showed off the new Xbox controller, which, if I remember correctly, the main thing they changed is like kind of the grips on the back, and then also you're able to customize your own controller through I'm guessing through Xbox.com or but they showed off that you could customize your own controller, and it looks pretty cool. You could change like you change the bumpers, you could change like the face of the buttons themselves, the analog sticks, to whatever color you want, to give it like more of your own personality. So I thought that was pretty cool. Nothing. Oh yeah, then also you're able to put like a little text at the very bottom of the controller. So that's always cool. They also showed off Tekken 7, which seems cool. I was never the biggest Tekken guy. The main thing that caught my interest was that Akuma was there. So at least he showed up in one press conference, and he wasn't in Sony, and it wasn't revealed to be a secret DLC fighter coming up. So oh well, at least he's on something for the moment. So yeah. After that, I want to say they showed Sea of Thieves. The vibes from that seemed pretty cool, because what they did is that they had different people playing it, and like different people would be in charge of the ship. So they were just people like messing around, and they found like another group and they started attacking that. It seems like a really cool like game to play with your friends. It's just once again like or it's just a thing of like grabbing enough people with the console and just playing it, and with the game, of course. So, but it seems like if you play that with a group, it's pretty fun. Interested to see if I can get a group to play that. You know, never know. Also, they showed more Scalebound. It seemed cool. It seemed to run better than what it did last year. I know a lot of people were giving it kind of a hard time because of how it was running last year. It seems a lot smoother now, so that's good to see. And they showed off like a 4-player co-op, taking out one giant boss. Seemed cool. Reminded me of a lot of like kind of Devil May Cry style. So hopefully that turns out to be a pretty good game. I'm excited for that. Yes. Then kind of towards the end, they showed off Halo Wars 2. They had a cool trailer of it. They didn't do gameplay, but they said an open beta is on right now of the week that they revealed it. So if you're watching this, I'm assuming it's gonna be uploaded Wednesday. So if you see this on the day I uploaded it, you are able to watch it, or at least a week within it, you have a chance to play the Halo Wars beta. I downloaded it. I still haven't jumped in. Warning: it is multiplayer only. I think I tried to play a single player map, and I saw, oh, it's only multiplayer. I haven't gone back to play that, but you know, I haven't played Halo Wars, the first one, so I'm intrigued to see how that goes. Then at the very end, they decided to announce Project Scorpio. Was it Scorpio? Yeah, Project Scorpio. So it's basically showing off that it's their new Xbox One. It's, you know, they're saying it's gonna come out next year during the holiday seasons. It's interesting that they showed that, but then, well, first they showed a different console, like, hey, you should get this, but then it's like, oh wait, you should also get this. Kind of, you know, a bit weird. With the Scorpio, it seems, you know, they're trying to give it more power. It's supposed to support VR and more 4K gaming. I would assume it's gonna be interesting how that works out. So kind of like my theory on how that's gonna go now with consoles is that they're probably gonna take like the iPhone route of it. Like, it's still an iPhone and most stuff still works for it, but up to a point, like, oh, you can't play this game with this iPhone. So like maybe like that, like maybe this console, like if it keeps going, yeah, it's kind of weird to explain, but yeah, like I think that's what they're gonna do. For the moment, they want to make sure that these games work on every platform, but it's probably at some point we're gonna see that games will not work, or Xbox One games, whatever that will be to the future, won't work with the next console going up. Then one more thing to know about the Microsoft press conference was there was no Crackdown 3. I kind of predicted that would be there, but there was no show of it. So I was pretty surprised by that. I guess they're gonna show it off at Gamescom. You know, they had a good amount of stuff for the amount of time they had. You know, it was a pretty good conference. I enjoyed it. So then after that, a couple hours after that, Sony took the stage and they had their press conference. They actually started with an orchestra. I think they played it like for 5 to 10 minutes. Just after people were like, what is going on? And a lot of people, so going into that, they had like a trailer, and they didn't say exactly what it was at first. It was like a boy like coming back from hunting, I guess. He goes and talks to his dad, excuse me, and then kind of goes into his house, and it turns out it's Kratos. So new God of War, it seems cool. It's not as like kind of crazy action as the other ones were, at least for this demo. Also, something that I kind of like is that they try to give Kratos more of a character in this, like, in this demo. Like, they showed him, like, really caring for his son, if it really is his son. But, like, it's definitely, like, you see him, like trying to connect with this kid. It's not just like, screw all the gods, screw everyone, I'll just do my thing. It's like, you know, he seems more human. It's interesting to see, like, if this is gonna be a reboot, or if this is just, like, after his, like, if it continues on from God of War 3 and just like Kratos just moved on. After that, they showed The Last Guardian. They gave a date. I'm happy about that. I really don't want to see this game anymore. It doesn't really intrigue me. People are really hype about it. I don't. It's not really for me. I'm just more happy that they announced the date, so then we could like kind of be done with it and like not talk about it, or at least with previews not talk about that anymore. A game I am excited though is that they showed Horizon right after that. They kind of like they showed more of the gameplay. There's like they kind of have like one of those options where you're able to like give whenever you talk to someone, you're able to give like different responses. Also, they showed up like a boss. You know, it's the mechanics seem cool. I'm still excited for it. It hasn't like really brought down my expectations or anything like that. It still looks awesome. I'm still like very excited to play it. Hopefully that game comes out in time. After that, they sort of moved on to a VR section. And with the VR, first thing they showed, what was it? Oh, like they showed like the scary game. Like it kind of reminiscent of kind of like how PT was to a certain extent. You just wake in a random house. It turns out that it was like the next Resident Evil. It's Resident Evil 7, and it's gonna be supported on VR. Now, I'm not sure if it's just on VR or if it's just like a PlayStation exclusive, or if you could just play it however. But yeah, that seems cool. Like how they gave it more of a. It's not as action oriented as 5 and 6 were. I want to say, yeah, it's 5 and 6 were. So like with this one, it might seem like it's going kind of slower paced. I kind of thought it was Resident Evil 7 when they did the door opening thing, and also it was hilarious that like you're still by yourself, you haven't seen anyone, and then like you look towards like a hallway, and then you see like someone walking by, and then you hear like some guy in the audience just screaming like ah, and then everyone just dying laughing because of that. Yeah. With VR, that's probably gonna be insanely like scary. I'll give it a shot, hopefully, if I get VR, but I'm not sure if I will. And as I say that, the first thing that comes to mind is the game that is why I want to get VR. So they announced earlier that that they're gonna do a Star Wars Battlefield VR experience. So it turns out you're gonna be able to pilot an X-wing. You know, put on the headset and you'll be like in the cockpit and stuff. That looks awesome. I'm excited for it because I love Star Wars. I want to play it. It makes me want to buy a PS4 and VR just for that. Now after that kind of confused me because they first showed the next game they showed was you're on a spaceship basically, and you're just like, you know, flying around, attacking another like space defense thing. I don't know. You're attacking another giant ship. So at first I thought that was also a VR game, and you know, I was watching it, it seemed very, very like interesting. I'm like, oh, this seems cool, like just messing with gravity and things like that. Turns out it was Call of Duty, the newest one. So I don't think it's gonna have VR. It's kind of weird because at first I got hyped up because I thought it was VR, but then, you know, I guess the demo went out long enough. It's kind of cool that they decided to put the Call of Duty thing tag at the end, because I bet you, just like me, most people didn't know that was a Call of Duty game and kind of got excited for it, like, oh wow, that actually looks cool, instead of, you know, just like, oh, Call of Duty, just like right away. But you know, it seemed cool. I'm probably gonna get it because the next thing they showed after that was the Modern Warfare HD remake, whatever you want to call it. Yeah, you know, it's already HD, whatever, the remake. So I was gonna get it just for that, but you know, I don't even know what it's called. But you know, the next Call of Duty game does look cool. That kind of trailer really like highlighted it. Like, well, maybe I should give it a chance actually, and not just like dump it right when I get it and just play Modern Warfare all the time. But yeah, the new Call of Duty seems interesting. I'll give it a decent check out. Next thing that they announced was the biggest shocker to me, because I thought not in a million this would happen right away, or at least without us like knowing about it because of a leak. They announced a Crash remastered of 1, 2, and 3. So Crash is coming back for the PS4, and also he's gonna come back in Skylanders. So basically, Sony and Activision, they did some deal and they agreed, but Crash is coming back. So I'm interested to see how the Crash games will look on PS4. So kind of then after that, they showed Kojima coming out, like, you know, just greeting, and they just addressed everyone like, I'm back. Hooray, cool. So then also they show like a trailer to his new game. Now, from what I heard, it seemed like the game is like very, very early, and the trailer, it seemed like, you know, I'm not even sure. Like, I just watched the trailer. I don't even know what type of game it is. But the biggest thing from it was Norman Reedus, who was actually gonna be on PT, appeared in this trailer, and I don't even know how to describe it, but just like, I don't even know what type of genre it is. That's kind of like my one like problem with the game at the moment. It's just like, I don't know what it is. Like, it's called, what was it? Death Stranding. Yeah, Death Stranding. So I don't know exactly. Like, it seems based on it could be like a horror game, but like, I don't know if it's gonna be an action. I don't know. It's, you know, it's just Kojima, and you know, it's gonna be good. Kind of after that, they had like this type of dialogue, and at first I thought it was Superman. It was gonna be like a Rocksteady Superman game, but turns out it was actually Spider-Man. Right kind of genre, but different superhero, and that's being done by Sony Games. It looks cool. I'm excited for this. I trust Sony Games, we'll see how that games go off. One thing, I did find that spider suit seemed weird, because if I remember correctly, it had like kind of a white spider on his chest. With that being said, whatever, like, this game could be awesome, but like, the game could be totally awesome if the spider suit still looks like kind of weird like that. I'm assuming that you could change costumes just like all the other old Spider-Man games, but yeah, good to see Spider-Man coming back. That's another reason why I probably should get a PS4 soon. The very last thing they showed was this game called, like, they just showed, like, Days Gone. I'm not too interested in it. It seemed like they were trying to make a big push towards it. The huge thing that got my attention, though, was that basically, I guess, the zombie survival game. And, you know, I feel kind of tired of those games, but there was this part where, like, I guess they alerted the zombies, and you just see them, like, running, like a whole bunch of them, like kind of like a whole line of them. I don't know how many, but like, it kind of sort of reminds me of like how they showed it off with Dead Rising 3, except these zombies were like moving fast, like really fast, and impressed me that way. But yeah, I'm not too interested in the game. Yeah, so that's basically all the stuff that I'm interested in that I saw from Microsoft and Sony today. Yeah, so with that, peace out. Peace. Hey, what's going on, you guys? Once again, huge thanks for checking out this video. Hope you enjoyed it. And remember, if you did, make sure to like and subscribe. And if you do that, maybe you should check out our other videos also. We also got my first impressions from the EA and Bethesda conference that happened the day before this. And also, we got a video of us checking out a retro video game store. Once again, big thanks for checking us out. Peace.